In this episode, we're going to share with you information on a brand new COVID pre-cruise testing option made available by Carnival Cruise Line. It's with Quest Diagnostics. We're going to get you all the information on that, but we also have some really important good to know updates on the at-home testing option. We're going to get you all the information you need to know coming up. Okay, information on Carnival's brand new pre-cruise COVID testing option with Quest Diagnostics. They just announced this just a little bit ago, so I want to get this information out to you. Also in this video, we are covering some really good information to know about the at-home testing option that we did a video on yesterday. I'll link that down in the description and also above if you want to check out that video. But these are some important updates that will be very helpful to you. Now, I wanted to get this information out to you quickly, but I do want to say there is other very important information that is coming out soon, so be sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss that. Look, subscribing, it is free to you. It really encourages us and it really does help the channel. So if you subscribe and hit that bell, we really appreciate it. Okay, I don't want to waste your time, so I'm going to get right into the information. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you 3 of the really important updates. You really need to hear this about the at-home testing option, and then I'm going to give you all the information on that new testing option with Quest Diagnostics if you're selling on Carnival Cruise Line. Okay, the 3 updates with those at-home testing kits. This first one is pretty basic. The second and the third one, they can be a little concerning. So let's get this basic one out of the way first. This first update has to do with the number of tests that are in a kit when you're ordering from eMed or Optum. eMed and Optum, that is the 2 companies that Carnival has authorized to do the pre-cruise at-home COVID testing. And we noted yesterday that eMed, they only offered a 6-pack that was $150. And we noted that Optum, they were only offering a 2-pack that was $69.99. Several of you had questions about the quantities in those packs and wishing there was something else. Well, we noticed yesterday actually that Optum has already began offering other options. We noted that they now have a 3-pack that is $99.99, and also for a very short time, I did see on the Optum site they had a 1-pack, and I thought it would be out there for a while, so I did not note the price. But they did have that. It's already been taken off the website, so hopefully it's back soon. But the bottom line is they have other options coming. Also with eMed, they have noted in their frequently asked questions that while they currently only have that 6-pack available, they are planning to offer different quantities in the future. So keep checking back with those companies if you're looking to get a different quantity than what they currently offer. Okay, we got the basic one out of the way. Let's get into the more important, the second 2. These are definitely much bigger. The second one is just simply this. eMed ran out of test kits yesterday. They're back in stock now, but there was a period of time yesterday where they're saying, sorry, we have no more inventory available. And this is just huge news that we need to be aware of, right? Hopefully that was just a momentary one-time thing. But look, this at-home testing option, this seems to be the option for many people. Why? Because with that requirement that begins on September 13th, that you have to have that negative certified COVID test within 2 days of your selling is really hard to get, or at least to have assurance that you can get that test and the results back in time. So the key tip that we want to give to everyone here is do not wait to the last minute to order your testing kit if you're going to go with this at-home testing option. Why? Because it's possible they could run out. I mean, think about it. You have the eMed and Optum. These companies, they are being used by school systems for their testing. They're being used by airlines. And now you have multiple cruise lines that are using their services. That is going to have a strain on their supply, their inventory, and all the supply chain things that are going on with that. So it is possible, hope it never happens, but it is possible they could run out again. So please don't wait to the last minute to order your testing if you're taking that route. But then the third update we want to share has to do with sort of the flip side of that. It has to do with the expiration date on these tests. We received a very good note from Lisa on our video yesterday, and she said in her comments, she said, I ordered my 2-pack of tests from Optum and got it overnight. So that's really good news about the speed in which these are arriving to people. They note on their website that it may take up to 3 business days is what Optum is saying right now, but to receive it overnight, That's great news. Lisa went on to note this about the test that she received. She said the test she received, they expired on October the 4th, but she did not sell until October the 30th. So she gave us a great tip of watching those expiration dates. So thanks, Lisa. That's a super comment, a super tip. Thanks for sharing that experience with the rest of us. We really appreciate it. So a couple things to share about this expiration date tip that we have. And the first thing I want to share is just simply this: don't order too far in advance. Why? Because that expiration date may get you. But look, we find ourselves in a little bit of a quagmire, right? We don't want to order too far in advance because the expiration date may get us, but at the same time, we don't want to wait too late because there is that maybe small potential that they're going to run out of stock. We really find ourselves in a bit of a quagmire, don't we? The second thing I want to share is that back in April, the FDA granted a letter that extended the shelf life of the BinaxNOW antigen COVID test. So they extended it out to 12 months. And my understanding is that previous to that, they were expiring in 9 months, so that you could add 3 months on to what the expiration date was. However, this was back in April. So what I do not know right now is when we receive a test now, is that expiration date, is that lining up already printed on the box with the 12 months, or is it still with the 9 months and you can add 3 months onto it? That's what I'm not sure about, but I just want to share that because when you receive that test and the expiration date looks a little iffy, you may be able to look at when it was produced and understand FDA has said 12 months is allowed now, and you may have more time left on that test than what you think. So check it out. So now let's talk about that brand new testing option that's been announced by Carnival Cruise Line with Quest Diagnostics. This was just announced today. They have some sort of agreement where you can book a pre-cruise COVID test with Quest Diagnostics, who has 1,500 testing locations and retail pharmacy locations across the US. Now, this doesn't just apply for Carnival ships, it also applies for other brands as well, for their Holland American brand, their Princess brand, and also the Seabourn brand. And how this works is Carnival Cruise Line and those other brands, Princess, Seabourn, and Holland America, they provide a secure link where you can schedule those testing appointments. So a couple of things with that. First is, look, this is positive. There's been a lot of cruisers, all of us pretty much are seeing that this is a little bit of a stress point because we have a hard time getting that scheduled and getting assurances that we'll have the test back in time. So the positive thing is Carnival is actioning this very quickly. This week, the at-home test, and now this with Quest Diagnostics. Look, they're working it. That's a positive thing. I love that customer service effect that Carnival has. So that's good news. We want to take that. But then there's also sort of a bit of a negative side as well, and that is with this new testing option, it still says, quote, they typically have results back within 48 hours. If they typically do, that means sometimes they don't, which means for those of us that are going on a cruise, we still don't have assurances that we will have our test results back in time. So we're beginning movement, driving, flying to the port, hoping the results come back in time. And there's that big question, what if we're gonna have that back in time? So that still adds some stress. The question a lot of people have that they have asked us, and we've seen in other circles as well, is what is really gained by moving this requirement for the negative COVID test from a 3-day window into a 2-day window? What is really being gained by that? Every single one of us has been told for the last year and a half to follow the science. Well, really, what is the data that we're actioning to cause this requirement to go to 2 days? I think that's a pretty valid question. And if there's not good data sense as to why we're doing it, then maybe we need to relook whether we're doing the 2-day or 3-day thing. And anyway, it's up to the cruise lines, but I'm not sure that change is worth it because we're not really gaining a lot. All right, that is just my personal thoughts. Kelly and I, we are going to gladly do whatever the requirement is. We are happy to do so. We are just thankful to be back cruising again. But look, that's our personal thoughts. What's your thoughts on that move from 3 days into 2 days? What do you think about that? And another question I'd love for you to comment on below is, what do you think about this new testing option with Quest Diagnostics? I sort of think it's a good positive sign that Carnival's trying to help, but at the same time, I'm not sure it really gives us any assurances. But look, that's just my thoughts. Comment below, let us know what you think. More information is coming out soon, so we'll catch you in the next video.